Now, Lady Gaga is hosting a coronavirus concert. It says, Lady Gaga announces COVID-19 benefit concert on World Health Organization call with Billie Eilish, Paul McCartney, Elton John, and more to perform. Remember, the Catholic Church invested over $1 million in the Elton John film Rocket Man. It was a bisexual, homosexual film that over $1 million from the Catholic Church was invested in. Remember, we did a video on that a few months back. But let's come back to Lady Gaga, the popular pop star that is being used in this coronavirus effort. Here it says that she has raised $35 million for the coronavirus relief, and she's also helping to launch the One World Together at Home TV special. So this One World Together at Home will inspire action to end coronavirus with music and more. Now remember, in Daniel 3, before the law was enforced, the music was utilized. The music was utilized to prepare the people to bow down to the image in Daniel 3. And that law was in opposition to the law of God. Likewise, the government of America will enforce a law, the mark of the beast, which is in opposition to the law of God. A national Sunday law will soon be enforced, and this is the mark of the beast. But it's important that Lady Gaga is leading the effort, and she is a Roman Catholic. Notice the headline: Lady Gaga defends her Catholic faith after posting an image with a priest. So here, a Catholic is leading the charge. Also, we've seen in a previous video that Catholic Chris Cuomo was visited by his dead father, which we know was not his literal father, but an evil spirit, a demon. We addressed that in a previous video. We'll put the link in the description box. And we also saw that Kobe Bryant died earlier this year, a prominent Roman Catholic. We are seeing that the coronavirus pandemic is being utilized for Rome to champion her agenda in America and across the world. So notice the cartoon here that speaks of the coronavirus. Back in 2017, this cartoon was written. It says, "Here comes our favorite straight from Rome, the champion with 1,462 victories." That's Roman numerals. Then it says, "The one they call the masked Ariga, the great coronavirus, and his faithful bacillus." So here, in reference to the coronavirus, it is mentioned as a champion straight out of Rome. Is it any wonder that we now see that so many businesses are closing on Sunday, and Rome says that the mark of her authority is Sunday and that she is above the Bible? Also, if you've ever read the book The Great Controversy, it speaks of the champion of Rome. But before we look at that, notice that in the cartoon it says the masked Ariga. Well, now everyone is wearing a mask and trying to prevent catching the coronavirus. What is Ariga? Notice what it says on Wikipedia. Ariga is one of the 88 modern constellations. It was among the 48 constellations listed by the 2nd century astronomer Ptolemy. It is north of the celestial equator. Its name is Latin for charioteer, associating it with various mythological beings, including Aristonius and Myrtilus. Now, obviously, we don't believe in mythological beings, but we must understand that it mentions it is Latin for charioteer. Well, what is a chariot used for? A charioteer controls a chariot, and this is usually used for war or battle. So in other words, what we're actually seeing is a war against the rights of human beings in Rome reclaiming world domination through using the coronavirus.
I want to assure the American people that we're doing everything we can each day to confront and ultimately defeat this horrible, invisible enemy. We're at war. In a true sense, we're at war, and we're fighting an invisible enemy. Think of that. A number of people have said it, and I feel it, actually. I'm a wartime president. This is a war. This is a war, different kind of a war than we've ever had.
Is it any wonder that Trump has repeatedly stated that we are fighting an invisible war, an invisible enemy? And now America, as well as the world, has been championed by Rome. And the Jesuits are reclaiming and bringing about a revival of popery. Notice what it says in the book Great Controversy, page 234. Throughout Christendom, Protestantism was menaced by formidable foes. In other words, many enemies. The first triumphs of the Reformation past, Rome summoned new forces hoping to accomplish its destruction. At this time, the Order of the Jesuits was created, the most cruel, unscrupulous, and powerful of all the champions of popery. So who's the champions of popery? The Jesuits. And this is what the cartoon depicted discussing this champion coronavirus. Notice what else it says about the Jesuits. Great Controversy, page 235. Under various disguises, the Jesuits worked their way into the offices of state, climbing up to be the counselors of kings and shaping the policy of nations. Well, who is the current advisor to Trump on the coronavirus? The head expert, Dr. Fauci, Jesuit trained at Regis High School, Jesuit trained at College of the Holy Cross. But before we look at that, notice what it goes on to say. They became servants to act as spies upon their masters. They established colleges for the sons of princes and nobles, and schools for the common people, and the children of Protestant parents were drawn into an observance of popish rites. So here again, reclaiming Protestantism, bringing back the Protestants that left Rome. It goes on to say, all the outward pomp and display of Romish worship was brought to bear to confuse the mind and dazzle and captivate the imagination. And thus the liberty, notice that, the liberty for which the fathers had toiled and bled was betrayed by the sons. The Jesuits rapidly spread themselves over Europe, and wherever they went, there followed a revival of popery. In other words, we are seeing a revival of popery in America, which will even escalate as we near the mark of the beast crisis. It mentioned that the liberty for which the fathers had toiled and bled was betrayed by the sons. Is it any wonder that your liberties, both civil and religious, have now been removed under the coronavirus? Have the Jesuits championed the U.S. Constitution? Have they championed the land of liberty in America? Absolutely. Has the Constitution been broken and have your rights been taken away? Absolutely. Now let us come over to this article speaking of Dr. Fauci. Notice what it says. Dr. Anthony Fauci, dedicated to public service, formed at Jesuit High School. So again, we have a Jesuit, and wherever we have Jesuits, what will happen? A revival of popery. And he attended the College of the Holy Cross, which was founded in 1843 by the Society of Jesuits. That's a blasphemous name to call themselves a Society of Jesus, because they are not a Society of Jesus. They are doing the work of Satan. And at a time where God was raising up his Seventh-day Adventist people in the 1840s, Satan was establishing and founding this Jesuit university, this Jesuit college, to do his work in opposition to the Seventh-day Adventist message. Remember, whenever God works, Satan works too. And this is what we're seeing in the establishing of the College of the Holy Cross, where Dr. Anthony Fauci graduated from. That's why he's suggesting a federal mandate to stay at home. Why? To do away with the Constitution. Now, his intentions may be sincere, but we must understand the true aim and purpose of the Jesuits is to undo Protestantism and bring a revival of popery, a revival of Catholicism, a revival of world domination by Rome. And that is exactly what the cartoon depicted by championing the world through the coronavirus. We are seeing stay-at-home orders, lockdowns, quarantines all over the world. Not just America, all over the world. And how did Dr. Fauci know in advance that the coronavirus would strike, or that a surprise outbreak would strike, as he says in this short video?
Given, as you heard from the introduction, that I have been around for a while and have had the opportunity and the privilege and the pleasure of serving in 5 administrations, I thought I would bring that perspective to the topic today, is the issue of pandemic preparedness. And if there's one message that I want to leave with you today, based on my experience, and you'll see that in a moment, is that there is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak. And I hope by the end of my relatively short presentation, you will understand why history, the history of the last 32 years that I've been the director of NIAID, will tell the next administration that there's no doubt in anyone's mind that they will be faced with the challenges that their predecessors were faced with.
And who is the leader of the Catholic Church? None other than Jesuit Pope Francis. Here he says, Pope Francis blames coronavirus on nature having a fit over environmental damage. And we know that he's referring to climate change when he says environmental damage. In 2015, in his encyclical entitled Laudato Si', he wrote that Sunday observance is a part of the solution for addressing climate change. And now we're seeing so many businesses close down on Sunday. Yet the Bible says that Saturday is the day to rest, is the day that we are to honor and observe in respect of the Creator of heaven and earth. Let us uphold Saturday, the true day of worship, and not Sunday, the man of sin's day, the Pope's day, the Catholic Church's day. Let us follow God and not man. And very soon, the mark of the beast will be enforced. We know that the beast is Catholicism. All the Protestant reformers agreed upon that point. And her mark is Sunday, and very soon the enforcement of Sunday observance will be the law of the land. And it's very possible this is why we are seeing many stores closing on Sunday. Many stores are even now stating that they're going to be closed on Sunday from now on to give their employees a chance to rest. But we must follow God rather than man, because the Bible says that the 7th day is the day of rest. And the Sabbath is a sign of creation, is a memorial of creation, that God can create a clean heart within you, that he can circumcise your heart as you walk in the righteousness of Christ by faith. Now that we see that Rome is championing not only America, but the world, now is the time for God's people to act and to work for souls like we've never worked before. Jesus is coming soon, brothers and sisters. Let us prepare. My brother Aaron made a good point. He stated that this week has been declared COVID-19 peak week, meaning they're expecting a mass amount of deaths in this week. And this week happens to be the same week of the Roman Catholic Holy Week. So the same week that is Rome's Holy Week is the same week of the COVID-19 peak. And we know that this Catholic Holy Week is a pagan festival, a pagan holiday. There's nothing holy about Easter. This is all based in paganism. And we must understand that the time for us available to be able to work for souls is running out. Now's the best opportunity we will have to labor for souls. Let us faithfully share the truth, exposing Babylon and her errors of Sunday sacredness and spiritualism, that we may help others have a true foundation for their feet upon the three angels' messages in Revelation 14. Jesus is coming soon, brothers and sisters. Let us get ready and stay ready. God bless.
Jesus is coming.